Stay quiet.
Stay quiet.
Stay quiet.
You know that feeling when someone disrespects you and your brain instantly starts writing the perfect comeback? The one that would shut them down and make everyone gasp? Well, what if I told you that comeback is exactly what they want you to say? Here's something nobody taught you. The people who really understand power don't fight back with words. They do something way more brutal. They disappear you, not physically, mentally. They act like you just stopped existing, and it drives people absolutely crazy. Think I'm wrong? Ask yourself this. What hurts more, someone yelling at you or someone acting like you're not even worth yelling at? Every culture on Earth figured this out thousands of years ago. The most feared punishment wasn't death or torture. It was being erased, forgotten, treated like you never mattered at all. Your brain is wired to hate this more than anything else on the planet. And when you stay quiet after someone disrespects you, you're hitting that exact button.
That silence is a useful communication tool that can cultivate relationships whenever you're dealing with people.
So imagine this. You're in that meeting again. Someone just tried to embarrass you. Everyone's staring, waiting for the drama. Your heart is racing because you know you're about to do something that will change everything. You look them dead in the eye and give them nothing. Not anger, not a comeback, not even acknowledgement that they exist. And in that silence, you just became the most dangerous person in the room. Here's why that works so well. Picture this. You're scrolling through your phone when you see that your ex just posted vacation photos with their new partner. Your finger hovers over the screen. Every part of you wants to react, maybe a passive-aggressive comment or at least an eye-roll emoji. But what if I told you that doing absolutely nothing is actually the most devastating response you could choose? Here's what most people don't understand about power. It's not about what you do, it's about what you make others think you might do. When you stay silent after someone disrespects you, something fascinating happens in their brain. Researchers call it the uncertainty principle of psychological warfare. Your silence creates a void. And here's the kicker. Humans are literally wired to fill empty spaces with their worst fears. Think about tech billionaire Elon Musk. When faced with public criticism, he sometimes goes completely radio silent for days. No tweets, no responses, nothing. While his critics are desperately trying to figure out what he's planning, he's sitting back watching them tie themselves in knots. That silence? It's not weakness, it's strategic absence. Your brain is constantly trying to predict what's coming next. When someone you've crossed suddenly goes quiet, your mind goes into overdrive. Are they plotting revenge? Are they telling everyone what I did? Why aren't they fighting back? The silence becomes louder than any comeback ever could be. Here's the beautiful irony. By doing nothing, you're doing everything. You've just handed your adversary the rope to hang themselves with their own anxiety. But here's where it gets really interesting. And this is something those ancient power players understood that we've forgotten. The person who controls the conversation isn't always the one talking. Sometimes it's the one who decides when the conversation ends. Remember that meeting we talked about earlier? What if your silence wasn't you being speechless? What if it was you speaking a language your disrespecter doesn't even know exists yet? The invisible throne isn't about being seen. It's about making others wonder where you're sitting. You think this silence thing is some new trick? Think again. This game is older than anything. 500 years ago, a guy named Machiavelli wrote the rule book on power that leaders still use today. His nastiest advice? Sometimes the best weapon is staying completely quiet, not fighting back, not arguing, just acting like the person doesn't exist. Here's what blew my mind. Back in the day, kings and queens didn't need social media to destroy their enemies. They had something way worse. They could make people disappear without killing them. One day you're at the palace, the next day nobody talks to you, looks at you, or even remembers your name. But here's the crazy part. This isn't just old history stuff. Walk into any big company today, and you'll see the exact same moves. The boss who ignores your email, the investor who stops returning your calls, The coworker who suddenly acts like you're invisible. Different countries do this differently too. In Japan, staying quiet actually makes people respect you more. It shows you're smart and your words are important. But here in America, we think quiet people are weak. What if we've got it totally wrong? Think about the most powerful person you know. I bet they're not the loudest one in the room. They're the one everyone's watching, waiting to see what they'll do next. When they stay quiet, people pay attention because they know when this person finally talks, it's going to be big. Remember that meeting we talked about? Here's something wild in ancient Rome. The worst thing you could do to someone who insulted you wasn't fight them. It was to pretend they didn't exist. Your enemy would rather have you hate them than treat them like they're nothing. The scary part? This old trick works even better now. When everyone expects you to reply instantly, your silence hits like lightning. You're not just staying quiet, you're using the oldest power move in human history. Okay, let's get real for a second. You want to know why silence messes with people so badly? It's because your brain hates not knowing what's going to happen next. Picture your brain like a guessing machine that never stops working. Every second, it's trying to figure out what's coming. Will this person smile back? Will they say hello? Will they text me back? Your brain needs answers like you need water. But when someone goes silent on you, that machine starts going crazy. Scientists have studied this stuff. When you can't tell what someone's thinking or planning, your brain dumps stress chemicals into your body. The same stuff that happens when you're in real danger. Your body can't tell the difference between being ignored and being attacked by a wild animal. Here's the crazy part. That stress doesn't just disappear, it keeps building up. Day after day, your brain keeps asking the same questions. Why won't they answer me? What did I do wrong? What are they planning? And the longer they stay quiet, the more your mind starts imagining the worst possible things. Think about the last time someone left you unread. Remember how nuts your mind went? First you thought maybe they didn't see it. Then you wondered if they were mad. Then you started questioning everything you said. That's not you being crazy. That's your brain doing what it's supposed to do. But here's what really shocked me. The person staying quiet, their brain is doing the complete opposite. When you choose to stay silent, you're using the parts of your brain that help you stay calm and think clearly. You're literally getting stronger while the other person is getting weaker. It's like having a secret weapon that works all by itself. Every minute you stay quiet, their brain is working extra hard trying to figure out why you're silent. Meanwhile, you're just chilling. Remember that meeting we keep talking about? Now you're starting to see why your silence hit so hard. It wasn't just what you chose to do. It was like a weapon that attacked their brain. You made their own thoughts work against them without saying anything. And in our world of instant texts and constant phone buzzing, this whole thing is way more powerful. We've taught our brains to expect answers right away. When that doesn't happen, people really do panic. Your silence isn't just strong, it's actually changing how their brain works. You're not just messing with their head, you're messing with their actual thoughts. Wait a minute. Before you go thinking you found the perfect trick, we need to talk about something scary. Because here's the thing about power. It doesn't care if you're nice or mean, and staying quiet, it can hurt people just as much when you use it wrong. Let me tell you about Sarah. She worked at a big company where her boss used silence like a weapon. Miss a deadline? He wouldn't talk to her for days. Ask a question in a meeting? He acted like she wasn't even there. Make a suggestion? Nothing. He wouldn't even look at her. After 6 months, Sarah started thinking she was stupid and worthless. Should she just quit? That's not smart strategy. That's just being mean. And millions of people deal with this every day. The silent treatment isn't just some harmless trick. Smart people have studied this, and they found that being ignored on purpose hurts your brain the same way as getting hit. Your brain can't tell the difference between someone punching you and someone pretending you don't exist. Think about it. Remember when you were little and your parents stopped talking to you when you were bad? How did that feel? Like the worst thing ever, right? That's because your brain thinks being ignored means you might die. And here's what really bothers me. Some people do this for everything. Mad at your boyfriend? Stop talking to him. Kid won't listen? Ignore them. Friend disagrees with you? Act like they're invisible. They've turned a super powerful weapon into something they use all the time. But it gets worse. Companies do this too. They call it quiet firing, slowly acting like someone doesn't exist until they quit. No meetings, no feedback, no talking to them at all. Just making them disappear bit by bit. The worst part? The person giving the silent treatment usually doesn't know how much they're hurting someone. They think they're just staying cool or avoiding fights. But the other person feels like their world is ending. Remember that meeting we keep talking about? What if the person who was mean to you was having the worst day of their life? What if your silence was what finally broke them? What if your smart move turned into someone else's terrible day? This is why every powerful thing comes with a warning. The same silence that can save you from stupid drama can also destroy someone who's already barely holding on. Being powerful without being smart isn't really power. It's just being mean with better timing. So before you use that silence, ask yourself, am I helping make something better, or am I just hurting someone? Now here's where things get really crazy. Everything we've talked about, the brain stuff, the old power tricks, the mean stuff, all of it just got way stronger because of your phone. Think about it. We used to wait days or weeks for letters. Now we expect answers in minutes. Your brain has been taught like a pet to expect that little ding when someone texts back. So when someone doesn't answer, you freak out way more than people used to. But here's the wild part. Social media turned staying quiet into something those old kings would be jealous of. Remember when that famous actress got in trouble online last year? Millions of people were yelling at her to say something, apologize, fight back, anything. But what did she do? Complete silence online. For weeks. No posts, no stories, nothing. And you know what happened? Everyone got bored and went after someone else instead. Then she came back months later and was more popular than ever. Her silence didn't just save her. It made people curious about her again. But it gets stranger. Smart people are now making computer programs that can tell when someone's using silence to hurt others. They can see the patterns, the timing, even guess who's about to get ignored next. It's like having special glasses that let you see mind games. And here's something that'll shock you. In video calls, silence feels worse. When you can see someone's face but they won't talk to you, your brain goes nuts. It's like being ignored by a person who's right there but acting like a robot. That's why getting ignored on Zoom hurts way more than just not getting a text back. Big companies learn this trick too. Ever notice how some brands just vanish from social media when people are mad at them? No sorry posts, no explanations, just silence. And somehow that works better than all the fancy apologizing. But here's the scary part. We're teaching a whole bunch of kids that ignoring people is totally normal. They call it ghosting and act like it's no big deal. But remember what we learned about your brain? This stuff is changing how we talk to each other forever. The same little computer that was supposed to help us all be friends is teaching us that the strongest thing you can do is act like someone doesn't exist. That meeting we keep talking about? Back then, your silence would only bug the people in that room. Now, with group texts, social media, and video calls, your silence can mess with someone anywhere, anytime. It's like having a button you can push to make someone worried from far away. Digital silence isn't just staying quiet anymore. It's staying quiet with super strength. So here we are. You now know the secret that's been right in front of you your whole life. But here's the big question. What are you going to do with it? Because here's what I've learned. The difference between someone who's amazing and someone who's terrible isn't what they can do. It's what they choose to do. Let me tell you about Marcus. He's a boss who figured out this silence thing years ago. But here's what makes him cool. He uses it to help other people, not to hurt them. When someone on his team screws up, instead of yelling at them, he just gets quiet for a moment. Not the mean, scary quiet, the thinking quiet. Then he asks, "What do you think went wrong here?" That pause? It's not a weapon. It's a gift. It gives the other person time to figure things out without feeling stupid. Same brain stuff. Totally different feelings. See, there's really two kinds of silence in this world. There's the silence that puts up walls, and there's the silence that builds bridges. The wall silence is what we talked about before. The stuff that hurts people, controls them, makes them feel awful. But bridge silence? That's something totally different. That's the pause that says, I'm listening. The quiet that says, you're important enough for me to really think about this. Smart leaders have always known this. They use silence to show they care, not to show they're the boss. When someone's telling them something important, they don't jump in with answers right away. They sit with it. They let the words matter. Here's the wild part. This kind of silence is actually stronger than the mean kind. When you use silence to help people up instead of push them down, something awesome happens. People trust you. They want to hang out with you. They start telling you things they'd never tell anyone else. But it takes practice. Your brain wants to fill every quiet moment with talking, especially when things get weird. Learning to be quiet on purpose, not because you're mad or trying to hurt someone, but because you're trying to understand them. That's like learning a whole new way to talk. So when you go into that next meeting and someone tries to be mean to you, you'll have a choice. You can use your silence like a knife, or you can use it like a shield. You can hurt them back, or you can be the bigger person. Those old kings we talked about, most people forgot about them. But the leaders who use their power to help people, we still know their names. Your silence isn't just strong. When you use it right, it changes everything. For you and for everyone around you. The question isn't whether you can stay quiet when someone's mean to you. The question is, what kind of quiet will you choose? So here we are, back in that meeting. Someone just disrespected you in front of everyone. But now you know what you didn't know before. Your heart wasn't racing from fear. It was racing because every instinct in your body knew you were about to unleash humanity's most ancient weapon. Your mind wasn't scrambling for words. It was choosing the most devastating response possible, giving them nothing. Everyone watching wasn't seeing weakness. They were witnessing mastery. The question was never, what should I say? The question was always, what do I choose not to say? And now you know the answer. Every conversation from here forward becomes a choice. Every time someone tries to push your buttons becomes an opportunity to push theirs back, without them even knowing it's happening. You've been carrying this power your whole life. Every awkward pause, every moment you didn't know what to say, every time you thought you were being weak, you were actually speaking the oldest language of influence on Earth. So here's my question for you. Now that you know your silence was never empty space, but a loaded weapon, what conversations will you choose never to have? Think about it. How many people in your life right now are trying to get a reaction out of you? And what would happen if you just didn't give them one? If this changed how you see power, you're ready for what comes next. Hit subscribe to join thousands of people who are learning the hidden rules that actually run the world. Because the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all.